Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I see the sun's starting to shine through a few clouds here. So welcome. It's the Equinox. Like less than an hour ago, we moved into, or it was the peak of the spring equinox for us here in southern southern hemisphere, and I was very excited and inspired to step outside and do some drumming with you. So it's quite windy as normal, so I trust that the wind's not too annoying on the microphone and there's not too much noise of things bashing around in the wind. But yeah, very excited to be here. So before I start, I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. It is Thursday the 23rd of September here at exactly 6:24 a.m. So I've been up for about an hour, and it was almost an hour ago that the equinox was at its peak here, or whatever you call that, I forget. So I've got my drum. This is my personal drum. I'll be playing that, and I've got my healing energy card. So let's create a space of healing and support. If you hear sort of like something moving, I've got my tarp up above here as like an awning, so it's probably rattling about a bit in the wind, but yeah, very interesting. Let's grab a healing energy card and see what it wants to bring to this connection today. I really mainly want to be drumming. I don't really want to be talking a lot, so I just really want to get straight into it. So the best healing energy card for the majority of us for our time of connection with the equinox. Equal day, equal night. Yay, we're moving out of winter and into spring here, which is wonderful. It's starting to warm up a bit sometimes, one day, and then it's cool. But that's just what happens when we're in between seasons. So, and we're sort of in between seasons in our life too, aren't we? And also in the world seems to be going through this sort of in-between time. So the best healing energy card is this here. It's stability. As the wind picks up, it's card 25, stability. It's sitting here in the rest category, which is a slowing down energy. And I'll read what it says here. It says, things are stabilizing. Oh, that's interesting. Things are stabilizing, grounding, anchoring, connections, balance, warmth, earth, base chakra, physical body, physical world, and harmony. So there is this sense here of anchoring, of grounding, of also this feeling of anchoring ourselves into the current reality, and whatever that is for ourselves, because it's going to be different for us all. You know, coming to terms with things that have changed, a bit like I talked about yesterday, but this sort of sense here of grounding into that reality, that new reality, coming to terms with, accepting how things are. But also there seems to be this unsettled feeling too of the things that we're not happy with in our life, or even in the world, or about ourselves at this time. That some of us are feeling like we want to do something about it right now, like we have a fire that's alight under us, or we don't want that fire to go out that we see within us, around us, and in the world. So there is this growing rise of fire in us, but also this deep sense of kind of settling in to what we want our reality to be, or what our reality has become. So stability, and I love that. I find it really encouraging and hopeful, just the first sentence, that things are stabilizing. Things are stabilizing. Okay, let's pop this card somewhere under something. I'll pop it under my camera tripod so it doesn't blow away in the wind. And let's move into some drumming time. So I've got my one of my personal drums here, which I want to play to really, it feels to me like a grounded or a settling into the reality of this moment. Sometimes we like the reality that we see in this moment, and sometimes we don't, and that may be where that fire kind of wants to spark up inside us. If we're sitting in the reality and realize, hey, there's something about this that doesn't resonate with my truth or that doesn't feel right, then we ignite that fire. And then there are other parts of our settling in where we might feel quite stable and accepting of how things are too. So it's going to depend on where we stand, what we're viewing and how we're viewing it, how we feel, because it's different for us all. We could all be looking at the exact same thing, and if there's 20 of us looking at the exact same thing, we could all feel it and think of it as good or bad or what have you from all different perspectives. And that is a really unique thing about us all, that we all have something to bring to the party. We all have something to offer our life and offer this world. So let's not underestimate too our fire for keeping things that are important to us alive, like truth, like morality, like conversation. So let's drum. So I want to hold this space. I feel this grounding energy that wants to come through, so I'm going to hold that intention too. So if you need some grounding, if you need to get back into your body, then I trust that you feel that too. Basically, there's nothing you can do wrong as you listen to the drum. Just take some big deep breaths and just listen and see how your body responds to the drum and how it can support you at this time. So working with the wind, the element of air, the sun rising here on my left. It's a new day, it's a new dawn. So nice big breath. So take some nice big breaths. And do you feel nice and grounded, nice and present in your body? Perhaps nice and stable. If you just joined in, I was drumming with this card in mind, which is stability. Things are stabilizing, grounding, anchoring, connections, balance, warmth, earth, base, chakra, so our physicality, our physical body, our physical world, and finding harmony. So that's that. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to pull a card to go in just a moment. Thank you so much. If you have enjoyed this connection today, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would love to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you would love to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, I have a couple of drums available. I've got some card decks I made, some pendants, meditations, artwork, other supportive services that you might find a connection with. Please have a look on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. You'll find lots of resources there too. So I've been doing this for over 16 years, and I thank you so much for being here. So let's grab a card to go. So I'm looking for the best card now that the majority of us need moving forward from here. So what is the key to maintaining this stability, perhaps? How can we ignite that fire under ourselves to push into the things that we feel inspired by or that are important to us? How can we proceed from here? As we in the south move into spring, and you guys in the north move into your autumn or your fall, how can you work with this shift of energies, this change of seasons, which is not only happening in the earth around us and with the weather and things, but it's happening inside us, it's happening in our relationships, in our life, and it is happening big time in the world. So how can we work with, how can we be a part of this shift and the part of it that aligns with our truth? What would be awesome, I think, is that there seems to be such a divide, like you're either agreed with or you're not. And if you're not agreed with, or you don't agree with someone, they're like enemy number one. And if someone agrees with you, then they're like your best friend. And I think, I wonder sometimes, I question, I'm curious about what happened. When did we stop having the conversations and the discussions? When did we stop agreeing to disagree so we could, work together? When did we become so lopsided, so one-sided on things? So the best card moving forward from here is this. Here, it's this, card 61. It's in the depth category here. And it's called Notice the Details. Notice the details. It says, make sure you comprehend and understand what is being communicated. Don't fill in the blanks or read between the lines. Pay attention, think, read, ask questions. Interesting. So notice the details, but also let's think about, as we move forward, getting more information so that we understand more of that bigger picture instead of the one side of the coin. I think of it like a set of scales. And if the scales are heavy and we're just focusing on that weight or that thing that's important to us, that thing that is in our radar, if you like. What about the other side of the scales? What about the other side of the coin? So we can have a better informed comprehension of the situation. We may still come out. It's not about changing our mind, but it's about seeing the bigger picture so we can make up our mind in a more honest and more bigger picture sort of way, rather than being so fixated on this one side of the coin that we are losing sight of the other side of the story, the other side of the conversation, or the conversation full stop. So let's be careful we're not assuming or expecting or filling in the blanks or reading between the lines moving forward. Let's notice the details and ask the questions that we need to ask. You know, even, you know, I found, you know, sometimes on Facebook there's a random weird comment that's like, oh my gosh, that's pretty harsh. And so then the last couple of years, I've been replying back and saying, look, I'm not really sure what you mean. Most of the time, this person has written it in the wrong place. So, you know, instead of me being all upset or taken aback by something that I think someone's directing at me, by asking a question and getting more information, I see that actually that person made a mistake. They didn't mean to put it in that particular place. And that's just one little example. So if we're blowing something out of proportion or we're taking something too personally now moving forward, let's investigate, let's ask the questions, let's explore and consider and contemplate what's really going on here, or how we really feel about something. So notice the details, and the wind's getting up. So I think this is my cue to go. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Happy equinox, happy shift of seasons. And I trust this video has supported you in some way. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.